Brilliance Audio presents North Korea Confidential, Private Markets, Fashion Trends, Prison Camps, Dissenters and Defectors, by Daniel Tudor and James Pearson. Performed by Derek Perkins. Did you know that the average North Korean lives off the proceeds of capitalism? Or that at least half of all North Koreans have seen South Korean TV dramas and movies, and listened to South Korean pop music? And did you know that North Korean soldiers spend more time working on private construction projects than on plotting the destruction of Seoul? These days, Pyongyangology has become a cottage industry, inspiring the creation of a huge number of books, newspaper articles, and documentaries. Unfortunately, there are few accounts of how North Korea really works today, with regard to both the Pyongyang elite and the average citizen. It has become natural when dealing with North Korea to focus entirely on Kim Jong-un, geopolitics, or the regime's nuclear weapons program. But to do so is to miss the huge amount of internal change taking place, both at the top and bottom of North Korean society. It may surprise the reader to learn that North Korea is now quite a dynamic place. The average North Korean breadwinner makes a living from private trade. People have official jobs in state-owned factories, but are able to bribe their way out and conduct business of their own. Women close to the Chinese border wear skinny jeans, in spite of their illegality. Most young adults in Pyongyang possess cell phones, and when they seek out romantic liaisons, they have the option of renting someone's home for an hour or two. Rich and poor alike do, indeed, enjoy listening to South Korean pop music in utter contravention of the government's wishes. And, as throughout the rest of Asia, North Koreans are becoming addicted to South Korean TV shows, obtained from China on DVDs, USB sticks, and micro SD cards. In most cases, anyone arrested for possessing South Korean media will simply end up paying a bribe and walking free. This is because North Korea has become an extremely corrupt society over the past 2 decades or so. In fact, the most money-hungry North Koreans are to be found among the elite, those whom one might have assumed to be the most ideologically pure members of society. The typical account of North Korea is written with admirable sympathy for the nation's long-suffering citizens. Such accounts, though, tend to strip those very same people of agency, reducing them to dehumanized caricatures, the brainwashed Kim Il-sung worshipper or the helpless victim of the state security apparatus, for instance. The latter certainly does exist, and thus we do present a chapter on what constitutes crime and punishment in North Korea. However, it is important to remember that the average North Korean's chief concerns are more ordinary. Just like people anywhere else, North Koreans are concerned with making money, raising their children well, and occasionally having a little fun. Increasingly, North Koreans are able to satisfy these needs beyond the umbrella of the state. The main cause of North Korea's recent social change is actually a tragic one: the famine of the mid-1990s, in which at least several 100,000 people perished. The famine greatly weakened the bond between the state and the people, forcing the average North Korean to fend for him or herself. As a result, the government is now just one part of a quasi-capitalist market economy, rather than the sole coordinator of economic activity that it once was. Time and again throughout this book, the reader will notice the influence of the famine as an agent of social and economic change. Throughout Korean history, there have been examples of calamitous events leading to huge social upheavals and, eventually, unexpected progress. From the ashes of the Korean War, 1950 to 53, for instance, rose a generation of meritocratic and extremely determined nation-builders in South Korea. The authors believe that North Korea's greatest tragedy, the famine, will one day be seen as similar spur to progress.